Good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, I'm well. How are you today?
I'm all right, thanks.
So this is Couch Talks. This is what we've kind of created over here at DKX since everyone's stuck at home on the couch. So we figured we
Okay.
might as well just start talking to people since we all stuck at home, right?
All right. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you.
So how are you? How is your spirit through all of this craziness?
Um, you know, there's definitely a lot going on, a lot going on. And so we are taking it a day at a time, being prayerful, being mindful, looking for the good that we can put out into the world, uh, limiting our intake of chaos on social media and the media. You got to watch what you're intaking, what you feeding yourself,
Yes.
and standing with, of course, standing with everybody who's on the front lines as far as COVID-19 is concerned, and everybody who's on the front lines. Black Lives Matter. I think there's a march today.
Yep.
Al Sharpton is going to be, leading or speaking at. So there's definitely a lot going on. So for people like for like you and I, and I'm being presumptuous because I can just kind of like feel it, but like for people like you and I, this is our time, to let our light,
Yes.
you know, our light shine. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? Because we we sound good when we talking about spiritual things. We sound good when we talking about how to live a holistic life. But this times like these when
Okay.
it's tight, that lets exactly where you stand, who you are, and what it all and how it all breaks down for you. So we have to be an example to other people because they're looking to us, to give them encouragement and to help them, navigate through this. So
Yes.
that's a long answer.
It was exactly, it was true, everything about it. And that's what, I mean, your album dropped today, Love Always Wins. And I feel like that is just kind of the underlying message through all of it is like really just like, like showing your light, spreading your light. And because to me, the main light that we can give out into this world is love.
That's
So
it.
I feel like this album was like so needed during this time. It was like everything just aligned perfectly, you know?
Yeah,
You've
yeah,
taken like
yeah,
you've taken a little bit of a break from us, so it was like divine timing that you came back at the right time.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So what
yeah.
else have you been up to during all of this quarantine? Have you taken up any new skills, or have you just been writing a lot? What's been going on?
Been writing, been recording, finishing up the album. I'm at home at our home on the south of Atlanta. So my wife and I, we're newlyweds. So I got married in November. We have,
Congratulations.
thank you. We added two more kids to our brood of five. So there's an 11-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 10-month-old running around the house. So
Oh my goodness.
there ain't never a dull moment over here.
Not
But
at all. Well,
yeah,
we
yeah.
appreciate you taking the time with us because I'm sure you got everybody running around in the background right now.
Yeah, they might
Well, tell them to come on through. They can come say
stay
hi
at
if
the
they want
door.
to.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah.
family here. That's beautiful. So you're down in Georgia then. What's the plan for going back to school? Are you just doing homeschooling now?
Um, the only one that's in school proper is the 11 year old. She's in the fifth grade, sixth grade. So they're doing virtual learning. So
Back
she's
home.
at home. She's upstairs on the computer now.
I've been
So
seeing some crazy. I don't have kids. I've just been seeing my friends post their kids like laying
yeah,
off the table, like just tired. How's she
yeah.
adjusting to it so far?
Pretty good. She's a sharp girl. So yeah, it's cool. I think there's an element of not being able to leave the house that's troublesome. I mean, we leave the house, but I mean not being able to go
Go
and
keep it.
and connect with your friends and do all of that and
Yeah.
show off your new school clothes and your
Right.
and your backpack. You know what I'm saying? And sit in the
Right.
lunchroom and all that stuff. But she's doing okay. All things considered, we're
Yeah.
blessed.
Oh, beautiful. Well, at least you get to spend this time with your family because, if you drop the album, you're probably out performing and such. But at least, I mean,
Yeah.
you're newlywed. You guys like literally just made it with the wedding before everything shut down.
Yeah,
That's a
absolutely. Yeah.
blessing too. So how has it been, being married but like kind of stuck in the house?
It's cool. Unless I got the right one. That's for sure. Cause we ain't,
Good.
cause we're doing all right. We're doing all right, and we have enough space to come together and love on each other, and enough space to disperse when we need to.
Which is also necessary at times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was listening to the album, and it just sounds like, to me, it just sounded like a whole dedication to your love for her. And it was just so beautiful. But I'm being nosy. I want to know how you guys met and like how this beautiful love just came about.
We actually met at a show here in Atlanta. That's the reason I'm in Georgia, right? Because I have my base is actually in Detroit,
right?
or has been traditionally. But she's from Georgia. She came to a show in 2015, bought VIP tickets to have a meet and greet with me, and the rest is history. Which has never happened. Because like I've never, I don't,
that is amazing. You guys need to make a movie about that.
At a show.
Because I got some skills so now.
Yeah. And my nickname for it is meet and greet. I call it meet and greet.
That is
good old meet and greet. Got a brother tied up,
And it must have just been like sparks on like first sight, because I'm sure you have you meet tons of people at your shows.
Meet a lot of people, and this was the first time that nothing like this has ever, nothing like this has ever happened for me on the road. I've been doing this almost 20 years, so nothing has ever happened like this. So yeah, so once I was in, I was all in. It was like steamrolls, wham, bam, bam, and and now look at me. You know what I'm saying? 5 years later, married, two more kids, moved across the country. My whole life has been transformed, and that is reflected in the new music. It's definitely reflected. All of those songs, all of the romantic songs on the album were inspired and are dedicated to her. So
yeah, and the writing on this album is just so beautiful. It really feels like you get to take a peek into your love life, of how intimate the lyrics are. I almost feel like I was listening to a poetry book, which got me thinking, have you ever written a book before? Have you ever I don't know, tried something like that?
I'm working on a book right now on the first half of my story, and we're working on it right now. It's part of my homework this weekend is to read the latest draft and get back with David. David Ritz is writing it with me. Famed celebrity author. He's done everybody from Ray Charles to Aretha to Lenny Kravitz. So it's in the works. It's in the works.
I can feel it. After you do your memoirs, we need a poetry book as well, because it's just your writing is so beautiful, and it's just so personalized that you can tell that it's coming from you, but it feels like it's meant for each individual listening to it, which is very beautiful. You don't get that too often in music, anymore. And the features that you have, because we've been playing "Lie to Me" for a few months now. We're we love that song. Well, let me preface it with this story first, because I don't know if you remember. Part of me doesn't want you to remember this story, but you came to Rochester. Oh, damn, 15 years ago now, I think it was, for a music festival.
Yeah.
And the stage manager put you on first, not knowing that you were there for your sound check. Do you remember that show?
I remember being in, we've only been to Rochester maybe 2 or 3 times. So I remember, I don't remember all the details around it, but yeah, I remember being there.
I'm glad you don't remember the details. I kind of am a little hesitant to remind you right now, but the stage manager put you on as one of the opening acts when you were supposed to be headlining. And we showed up to the festival, my father and I, because this is a family-owned business. And we got there and we're like, what is Kem doing? We're like, is this his sound check? And she's like, no, I put him on. And we were just like, no, what are you doing? And you were just performing. It was literally a personal concert at that point, because no one had even arrived yet. And you were singing your heart out. You were giving a full performance, regardless of who was there. And I will tell you right now, I will never forget that moment. My father will never forget that moment. And literally, you could put out a song singing the ABCs and we will put it on air immediately, because of your professionalism and your dedication to your art. It just has always stuck with me for all these years. And I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for really just for giving your all and just being a true like artist through and through without, because I've met so many people who the ego comes before the creativity, and I never experienced that with you. So I wanted to thank you so much for that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah,
It
it's
was
really, really nice.
an interesting experience. But so we've been playing your song "Lie to Me" for a few months now, and it's such a beautiful dedication to your wife as well, which is from what I'm hearing. But then I saw in the writing credits it's with Anthony Hamilton as well. How did that collaboration come about?
Yeah, Anthony actually sent me the song probably shortly after I met my wife. He sent me the song, but I didn't. He sent it to me in 2015 or 2016. And then when I met my wife, I sat down and we had conversations about our relationship and about how we wanted to move in our relationship. And then I started writing to it. So it's his Anthony's part, their part is the hook. You ain't gotta lie to me. You ain't gotta lie to me.
Okay.
And my part is everything else. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. And another beautiful collaboration. We actually just started playing this song with Tony Braxton this week. It is so beautiful. So have you guys worked together before? The song was "Live Out Your Love," but how did that duet? Because R&B needs some duets. So I was really happy to have this come up.
We my wife Erica's a big Tony Braxton fan, so I took her to see Tony in Detroit for Valentine's Day last year, and Tony called me on stage, which I we share our manager. We share a manager. Her manager, Kenneth Creer, is also part of my management team, and he told me before the show that Tony wanted to know if you wanted to come up on stage, and I told him, no, I don't want to come up on stage because I want to be prepared to sing what like we have. What is she? What are they singing? So I was like, no, but she called me up anyway, and which was very cool, and it ended up being a great musical moment. And from that moment on, I wanted to find something for us to work together on, and "Live Out Your Love" is the birth of that. And I can't be more grateful and more humble to have such a legendary vocalist, entertainer, artist, producer on my album. Tony's fabulous, and love to hear her sing. She could sing anything, dude. She would text, she would send us, versions of it. I just want to make sure, that I'm going in the right direction, and like, you're cool. I'm like, dude, whatever you do, we're good. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do, we're good. She's been in the game a long time. She worked with Face, and she knows how to make records, knows how to move around, knows her way around the studio. So, so I'm really happy about that, and I'm glad you guys dig it too.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like I said, it's what R&B needed. I feel like we haven't had a duet, like a really bomb R&B duet in a while. So this was right on time, and it's with two R&B legends. So like, perfect,
Yeah,
But when people are listening to this album, what do you see people doing? Is this an album that you should be sitting at home listening to when you're by yourself? Is it an album you should be listening to while you're cooking? When should people be listening to this album? When you created it, where did you envision people listening to it?
Wherever people listen to my music. People listen to my music everywhere. They listen to it cleaning the house. They listen to it going to work, coming back from work. They listen to it in chemotherapy. They listen to it, at their weddings. They, you know what I mean? So I mean,
Yes.
it's music for every place, and I believe that it's music for the times. My hope is that this album, that this collection of songs is part of the soundtrack, that helps pull people through, these unprecedented times that we're living in.
So if there's someone that maybe doesn't feel the love right now in their life, what song would you recommend they start with on the album?
Lonely.
Yeah.
I would have them start with Lonely. Lonely is, Lonely is one of those songs that really, it touches on the pulse of like where I think people are right now. And it talks about well, you know, y'all got the record. Listen to the listen
Right,
to the
right. I
record.
listened to it. It's funny. That was one of the songs that stood out to me. It was a little
But
bit
it's
different from each of from the rest of the album because it
yeah,
really spoke to the person that was like longing for something,
right,
you know?
right. And the whole album, you know, and the whole concept behind the album is not to give up, is not to give up on love. You know, no matter what's going on or no matter what you see, we all have one thing in common, and that is, you know, that we love somebody
Mm-hmm.
and somebody loves us, you know, and regardless of what's going on or what's happening in the world, what comes and goes, that will always stand. So that's really the, you know, that's really what we should be leaning on during these times.
I love that. Was there a
Yeah.
song that you are most excited for people to hear on the album?
Probably the last song.
Erica
What is it?
Campbell?
Can't Stop Giving Love. Yeah, I
Yeah.
want you to hear the whole record, right? There's not a,
Of
but Can't
course you
Stop
want to
Giving
listen
Love.
to the whole thing.
Can't Stop Giving Love is the fastest song that I've ever recorded, you know, and you know, I'm really happy. I'm really happy about that song, you know, and I think it'll bring people a lot of joy. But the whole album, Erica Campbell's on Love Always Wins, which is a very inspirational, very gospel-esque,
Yeah.
you know, again, talking about, you know, love being, you know, what we're, the main reason we're here. That's what we're here to do, you know, and we're here to demonstrate love, not only when in times of comfort and convenience, you know, but in times, you know, but when it's tight, you know, really, how, if your love can't stand when it's tight, then I question the, you know, I question the foundation that is built upon, you know. So you know, that's the whole album is filled with that, you know. So I hope you guys dig it.
Oh, we do. And what I was, because I was listening to this morning before the interview, and it's, of course, it has like the R&B foundation through it, but then I also feel like a little bit of disco, a little bit of
Right,
gospel. It's
right.
not just a one straight line kind of thing. You can really feel how it branches off into, it touches
Yeah.
into different genres as well. So was that intentional? Because I was like, I was starting to dance a little bit. I can't remember the name of the song now. I was like, this feels like a disco song. I like this.
Right. Yeah. That's Can't Stop Giving Love. Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, yeah.
yes,
So it's, yeah, there's a little bit of everything. There's some country on there. Friend Today is another standout
with
on
that
the record.
acoustic guitar. I love that.
Yeah. You know, so there's a lot, there's a lot on this album. And I think it's suited to the way that people are listening to music today, you know.
Yeah.
And songs can live anywhere, you know, they can live anywhere. And I'm not limited to, although I love R&B, I'm not limited to, you know, my musical palette is, you know, and at this stage of my life, I should be expressing myself musically, you know, in all the ways that I want to express myself musically. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think our audience will thoroughly enjoy it. But my last question for you before you head on and celebrate this day that your album came out, when your wife first heard these songs, what was her reaction to it?
Oh boy, get out of here. No, no, I'm just kidding. You know, right. That's nice, but you need to go clean the garage out.
Oh, that's good though. You gotta have humor in a relationship. That's beautiful. Well, hopefully we can get you back up here in Rochester when everything clears out, so you can come and we can do a proper performance from Kem, because it is needed up here. We need to spread love, you know, everywhere, but in Rochester, we need it. So
Well,
we would
thank
love
you.
to have you back up here. We got your songs playing. We just got the album Love Always Wins on repeat here at DKX. So hopefully we can see you back in Rochester very soon.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for spending time with me today, and you guys be blessed and stay safe. And until we're able to see each other, connect in another way, you know, be
Yeah,
good.
you too. You have a
All
wonderful
right.
day.
All right.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.